We are live here at Walmart. We're gonna do a live sourcing. I'm gonna figure out how to get everything rigged up in the cart. I think this is gonna be the way. I'm gonna show you everything that I find, everything I'm putting into my cart, and why I'm putting it into my cart. So if you are brand new to trying to sell on Amazon, first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get the Amazon, you're going to get yourself an Amazon account. All right, we're not going to go through how to do that today, but that's step one. So once you're on Amazon, then you can download and access the Amazon seller app. I have it right there. Anyway, point is, it's right there. So I'm gonna be scanning everything with the Amazon seller app. Be telling you what I'm finding, what works, why it works, what we're looking for, all sorts of things. So you can do this a bunch of different ways, however you deem fit. I always like just hitting the clearance section first, just to see if there's anything. This particular Walmart has a good clearance section a lot of times, but I haven't been here for a couple weeks, so you just never know what you're gonna find. And part of everything here with sourcing for Amazon is you're trying to build yourself a knowledge base in your head. So once you build yourself your knowledge base in your head, then you can start to go faster, right? Because when you first start, you kind of have to scan every item until you learn what works, what doesn't work. And then when you start finding gems and you start buying more of the same thing, but then you got to keep scanning to find new things. Okay, so I'm not gonna have to scan every single thing in here because I know certain things are already good, certain things are already bad, certain things I'm not eligible to sell. I'm gated on. So, but I'm gonna still scan anything that catches my eye, anything that I'm not sure about. The other app that I'm gonna use while I'm here is I'm gonna use the actual Walmart app. Okay, so if you do the Walmart app, as I'm doing here, it will show you the actual price. It's a price checker. That's basically what I'm using it for. Because the price in the store, how's it going, Alex? We are doing some sourcing for Amazon at Walmart. So I'm kind of just working through the whole process. Welcome, hello to everybody. And so we're just gonna do, this is live. This is nothing. I literally just walked in the store. It's been a couple weeks since I've been in the store, so I don't know if there's gonna be good stuff, bad stuff. We might find a whole bunch of stuff. We might find nothing. But I'm gonna kind of show you through the process. And then within Amazon, obviously anything that you can sell for a profit is great, but you gotta start small because you can't take on every last thing. There's just no way you can know every item and what's profitable on Amazon. So for me, I specialize in things like toys, video games, sometimes baby stuff, sometimes health and beauty, but I spend a lot of time toys, video games. Awesome, love the emojis, Alex. So I'm just gonna kind of show you, we're gonna be using no external tools. So let's say you're starting Amazon from scratch. You don't have extra money. You don't have money for external software. There is external software that will help you with this, that will help you be more profitable quicker, that will help speed up your process. But you maybe are only starting, maybe you only have a couple $100 and you're just trying to get started and you wanna learn how to do this. So, how's it going, Jessica? How's it going, Mr.? So we're gonna just kind of start looking. I know you're not gonna be able to see everything, but I'm gonna just kind of roll through certain things that I see. Okay, things that I haven't scanned recently. So I see this, right? So it's $9. I know I can't always scan all, I can't always sell all the Ghostbuster things. I can double check the price, scan it with the Walmart app. It shows we're also $9. Then I can scan it with the Amazon app. And if you see here, if you look down the bottom corner, there's a request. That means I'm gated on this. It means even if I wanted to, I couldn't sell it today. There is a button you can click through and click request approval. Sometimes you will get quickly approved. Most of the time you won't, especially if you're a new seller. That's probably gonna be one of the biggest frustrating things you're gonna find is you're gonna have lots of things. So you have to do like some documentation stuff, which we're not gonna do while we're in the store today. In addition, this particular item, we'll go back to it, I'll show you, was not profitable to sell in the first place. Okay, so when we click on it, we would have to pay $9 even if we could sell it after Amazon fees and stuff. Hey Alex, I'm glad that you're here. Please don't spam the chat. Just kind of, I'd love to talk with you, discuss, answer questions and stuff as I see them, but please don't just spam the chat. You can see after Amazon fees, we would only get $4.74. So obviously we don't want to spend $9 to get $4.74, right? We would, if we could make $4.74, if we could sell it for say like 20 to 25 and get $13 to $15, that's what we would look for here. So we're just going to put that back on the shelf. See a couple of these Nerf Fortnite guns. Again, same thing. And you don't even always have to, you know, you can kind of trust the prices a little bit, but you can go quick. And like I look at this, again, the same thing. We're restricted on it. We can't sell it. And even if we could, we'd only get $2 after sales. And that's like, doesn't include our costs. So you got to kind of deduct that out. So we can kind of start to see like, okay, well, those things aren't working. So I'm just going to kind of keep scanning down the aisle. You can look for different things. You don't have to stay just within one niche, especially when you're doing clearance, and especially if you're just learning. But I would recommend you start with things that are your specialty. All right, so we got this spoon, but this is also gated for us. So we've got some helmet extensions here. It's like that flap that comes over your face. And in this case, it didn't scan as a barcode, but I was able to go ahead and scan the package. You can also manually type it in. So I could type in Rawlings Batter's Helmet Extension. Okay, and then I got to figure out, so this is left-handed batter, right? So it kind of got it, but it didn't get the exact one. So we're gonna actually type this in. And sometimes you're actually looking for the weird things. So this is like for a left-handed batter. Obviously there's way more righties than lefties, which is why Walmart has these on clearance. But there may be way more lefties looking for these because they're harder to find in certain places. So we're gonna still type it in here. We're gonna go Rawlings, Batter's Helmet, Extension, left. All right, we'll see if that's good enough to find us what we're trying to do. And then we're gonna kind of look to see if we can match this up. I'm seeing ones that are close, but I don't know if I found an exact match. So you can kind of dig in a little bit more. Sometimes you can see, and I'm looking here, and I can see that this product and this don't exactly line up. So they're not exactly the same product. You need to make sure that everything is exact matches on Amazon. You can't fudge things because you will get yourself in a lot of trouble. And then I see another keyword in here that's showing up in some of these descriptions. So RCFH. So we're gonna try it one more time. But at a certain point, you kind of have to just be like, okay, forget it. It's just not gonna work. Like, all right. And then we found it, maybe we found it here. Let's see if we found it here. Now, we're looking here, and we're looking here, and it looks like similar to what it is. Now, after we've done all the work of finding the product, of course, now you have to evaluate it. Now, we can sell it. It is something we're eligible to sell. However, you only get $10 after fees. They're charging $11. But before we put it back, we'll just double check the price. We'll scan it over here in the app just to make sure. And yes, it is $11. So in this case, it fails. Now, obviously, this would go a lot faster if you're not teaching someone. But my goal here is not about speed. My goal is to teach you, okay? And to help you guys out, to give you a little bit of a perspective. Now, you can do the same exact concept with eBay as well. And because you can scan within the eBay app, if you want to start there, maybe you want to get going on Amazon, but you haven't set up an Amazon account yet, you have an eBay account, you can do the same thing. So I'll just show you what that would look like. You go into your eBay app, and then where you get your search, there's a search button up here. You can see that. And I'm going to click on that, and then you can scan the barcode the same way. All right, and then what I'll do first, the first quick search I do is just sort low to high. And I can see the very lowest one, someone is selling this brand new for $7.50 on eBay. So obviously that's not something that I'm going to want to do. Okay, so the goal obviously is eventually speed. Eventually you want to go faster. Now, for my sourcing, 95% of my retail arbitrage sourcing, probably 98, 99% is Amazon. But if I find something really good that's selling for super high profit on Amazon, but I can't sell it on Amazon and I can't get ungated on that product, then I will cross-reference that over to eBay to see if it is. And I did that earlier today with a popular toy. I couldn't sell it on Amazon, but I was able to do that. So again, same thing, you just kind of keep looking things over and over again. Scan these glue sticks, they're $8, they're selling for $8 on Amazon. So we move on. And then you start to kind of build a little bit of a knowledge and a head base. Now when you're starting in a thing, how's it going, Jaeger? Thanks for hanging out with us. When you're starting and you maybe don't know anything, I would recommend starting with areas that you are somewhat familiar with. So if you are into sports, you may want to start by scanning sports equipment. If you are into something else, then that hobbies, crafting or whatever, then start by learning those products because you're already going to be somewhat familiar with that. All right. So we got to scan these Post-it notes. We are gated, but if you see, we just went through the approval and said, congratulations, you are approved to sell. So now we couldn't sell these a minute ago. We went through, the approval process worked. I would say when you're very early on, it's not going to work a lot. Now, a couple things we're going to look at here. Yeah, so this is the Amazon Seller app. So once you have an Amazon account, you can scan all these products with the Amazon Seller app, and they will tell you exactly if it were to sell at what the current best price is, what the current lowest price is, how much your proceeds would be, and then you deduct from that. All right, so then, see here, I get $7.44. I also want to look at here the ranking, and we won't go too deep into this, but ranking or lots of reviews. You can see how this has lots and lots of reviews, has 7,000 reviews almost, and it's ranked 1,000 off its product. That means this sells multiple times every day. All right, and you get $7.44 gross proceeds. Well, what is it selling for? You can see clearance is $5. So that means I'd clear about $2. I'd spend $5 to make $7 or $2 profit. And when you're looking on Amazon, that may sound, well, that's not like a lot of money, right? But that's not what we want to focus on. We don't want to focus on big stacks of cash. You want to focus on what can you do. And here's the thing, we're not just buying one. We also got ungated on Post-it notes. Let's scan others. They have 4. Okay, so now we're going to be spending 20 to make 28. Okay, and again, think about the speed that you could do this if you knew what you were doing. And we're going to do one more thing just to double check. We're going to scan it with the Walmart app just in case, because maybe it's even cheaper, but it's not. It is $5. Okay, so we did that. So now I have a product, and now anywhere I go, I can be looking for those Post-it notes, right? I couldn't even sell them 2 minutes ago. Now we're ungated on them. We can sell those Post-it notes. They're not going to be huge profit, right? But it's 4 items that I bought that I can turn $5 into $7. And if you just imagine Amazon as this vending machine where if you source smartly, you can put in $10 bills and get $12 back or $15 back. And you could do that now, not just one time or 4 times, but imagine they had 20 of those there, right? All of a sudden, then you're making $40 in 5 minutes. And to prep those, you're just gonna have to go into a poly bag. Fortunately, I have kids who love putting things into poly bags, and they have off of school tomorrow, so they're gonna be part of my prep team, but we're gonna do that. And so, but then we're gonna look here, and now there's more Post-it notes. So we had success with those Post-it notes. These don't even have, oh, there is a $5 price tag on these too. So now we're gonna do the same exact thing. We're gonna scan these, because if one kind of Post-it notes is good, maybe the next one will be. And I'm going to tell you, this is what I used to do full-time as like my full-time income over a long period of time. So now we're going to click on these. Of course, we're already approved. And if you notice here, what do we get after our proceeds? We get $7 again, and it's $5. So we're going to make $2 on these. Now, how many of these are there? Well, now there's 3 more, right? So now we have 3 more of these. So now we've already have 7 things in our cart, but they're just 2 different items. Okay, there's 2 different items. Now I have 7 things. So when you think about it, and you might say, well, why would I want to do this when I could just do grocery delivery or grocery shopping for other people? Well, think about it. How much do you get paid by picking up items when you're grocery shopping for other people? You know, on the channel, we recommend $1 an item, right? Right here. And we've barely started. I'm teaching you, so I'm not even going that fast. We're picking $2 an item, and we already have 7 items. So I'm already at $14 here that I've made in this. And is it possible prices can adjust up or down? Yeah. You're not gonna always have winners on things. Now, I'm a little more comfortable taking lower profit margin because I've done this for a long time. If you're not comfortable, you can start and say, I'm only gonna do things where I'm gonna double my money. Now, the benefit is, if the prices go down, you're still gonna make more money or be able to get out even. The negative is you're gonna find less products, right? So, but this is the concept. And I wanna just show you, okay, based on what I know, and we're not even doing an exhaustive scan here. I'm just trying to give you some basics. We've done this much of the clearance aisle. We have more Post-it notes we haven't done. Look at the rest of the clearance aisle that we haven't even touched yet. And then we haven't even gotten to the full price items that we're gonna take time to do. Now, you can do this and you can spend as much or as little time in these aisles as you want. Some people love to just fly down the aisles, just look for the most obvious things that they really know, scan them. Some people like to go in depth on everything. For me, it depends on where I am in my knowledge base, depends on how much money I have to spend and all these different things. But we're gonna just keep going because we're gonna look at these. We've got these other Post-it notes. And so we're gonna scan them. We are ungated. They're only $1. Now, here you can see, technically these are profitable. We could make 28 cents a piece, but for me, that risk to reward is not really worth it there. I would much rather spend $5 to get 2 than $1 to get 50 cents or 20 cents or whatever. I like to have a slightly higher margins than that. No, you can go down as many aisles. And in fact, I'll do for me in a normal Walmart. And again, it just depends on how much time you have, how many stores you're trying to get through, how broad of, do you want to find the same item at 10 different stores, or do you want to find 100 different items at one store? So there's a lot of these things, or you have to kind of make those choices. But I'm just showing you, like, I would always go down the full clearance aisle just to see what's there. I'm gonna go up and down the toy aisle looking for certain toys that I know of, and then we'll go hit the electronics section for clearance over there, see if we can find anything else. Now, again, everything is completely dependent on how much time you want to put into this. You could literally spend days scanning an entire Walmart, right? That may not be the best use of your time, but you could if you wanted to. All right, here's another item. So this is on clearance. I'll show you a couple of things. Clearance for $11. But we would not get this even if it was good. Can you see why? Packaging is damaged. Okay? When you're sending in items to Amazon, you want to make sure that they are high quality. There's another reason we wouldn't sell it other than the fact that it's not profitable, because it's not. You only get $3. But if you look at the top here, you can, maybe not everything, you can scan it all. Not everything will be in there. Some things you might have to manually type in, but yeah, I mean, pretty much anything with a barcode you can scan. I don't know if you can see, it's a little blurry, but if you see at the top, it gives you the ranking in toys. And notice how I said those Post-it notes I'm fine getting because I know they're gonna sell really fast. This is ranked 373,000 in toys. Does that mean it's never gonna sell? No, but it means it's selling really slow. Okay, so I like for toys, and you can look up Amazon sales velocity charts if you wanna start to know rankings of different categories that are on Amazon. So, you know, a sales rank of 300,000 in toys might be bad, but a sales rank of 300,000 in books might be really good. You won't know until you start to do the research, but I know I'm comfortable buying toys that are ranked 100,000 or less, or if it's super high margins, then I'll go higher than that. I will sometimes buy higher than that, but not always. Okay, and so we're just gonna kind of keep on going. I know that I used to be able to sell Star Wars stuff, but I've been kind of gated on it, but I still like to check every once in a while just to kind of see. Okay, now this one doesn't scan, right? So then I'm gonna take this, if I wanna know about it. Let's see if I can find it. Sometimes when items don't scan, it's actually good, right? Because people are like, oh, it doesn't scan, I'm not gonna even look for it. So if you're willing to take a little extra time, so I can do Nerf, Star Wars, Mandalorian, Mask, Gauntlet. All right, So you don't need to type in like a proper sentence. You're just typing in all the basic stuff that you're looking to find. So Nerf Star Wars Mandalorian Mask Gauntlet. I'm kind of scanning through and I'm not seeing that. Now, does that mean it's not on Amazon? Maybe not, but in terms of how much time, right? So everything is, here's the biggest thing with selling on Amazon. You got to decide how much time you want to spend in a given store, in a given aisle, versus how much time do you want to spend getting to as many stores as possible. Okay, so that's honestly, that's the big question. You're gonna have to find that as you get more and more comfortable. Okay, see another Transformers mask. I know I recently gotten gated on Transformers stuff, so I probably can't sell it. But if it's something I haven't scanned in a while, I like to double check. And sometime you couldn't sell it, and now you can. In this case, we can sell this one, even though it is Transformers. We can't sell all, but it's $7.58, so it's no good. So we put it back. And so you just kind of work your way down the aisle. And then as you build your knowledge base, you start to say like, oh, hey, this sounds like a pretty decent price. Okay, so this one's only $7. We're gonna do this. Again, some Ninja Turtle stuff I can sell, some I can't. Okay, that didn't scan. So now, because I'm intrigued enough about it, I'm gonna type in Ninja Turtles Mini Madness Skate Park. And sometimes when you start to type, it's pre-filled in there. Okay, so then we found it, Ninja Turtles Mini Madness Skate Park. All right, so you can see here, it's $7. The rank is just over 100,000, which is okay. We'd make about $2, right? So this is kind of right in that gray area. If you had tens of thousands of dollars to spend and you don't know where to spend it, this is the type of item you could start to buy. The more volume you're trying to do, the lower margins you take, but the more money you're gonna make. I know it sounds weird, but there's just not that many items that you're gonna be able to double your money on a consistent basis doing retail arbitrage. So as you have a bigger bankroll, you can start taking smaller margins, and then you just determine what that level is. So because I'm on a tighter bankroll today, I'm gonna let this go, but there's probably a time that I would have considered it. Now, before we say no for sure, we're gonna still double check the price on the Walmart app, right? Because if that's $5 and we get 9, then we're almost doubling our money. It's amazing how like even $2 can make a huge difference. But in this case, it does still show as 7. So if you've done Instacart, if you've done Shipt, this is 10 times more fun. It's more fun. I'm not gonna say it's always more profitable, but it is way more fun because you're going and then you start to build your specialties on the things that you like, and you start to learn different things and learn what it is. And so I've done this like full time for years before I ever did food delivery, and it was just an absolute blast. And I guarantee you that there's probably a better reseller than me that could come through this aisle, not only be faster than I am, but also find things that I'm just completely skipping over. So I'm showing you just a little bit. Again, I like some of these small trucks and stuff like that. Sometimes the small things can still sell for good money. Like sometimes you can buy $3-4 items that sell for 15 and you can make that. Now that didn't scan as a barcode, so I'm gonna pull it back and then I can scan the picture of it. It still didn't scan, and I actually don't think I can sell Spidey and Amazing Friends stuff anyway. And it's not anything that it seems worthwhile for me to go and check on eBay, but and you can spend your time looking at anything and everything that you want. And of course, you never know what you're gonna find for yourself, for your family, as you go. So this is Dude Perfect. We're gated, we're gonna request approval, but then we have to submit documents. So if that's the case, we don't worry about that in the store. Now, if it's super, super good, you can still always buy it for your eBay store. This one's got multiple clearance stickers, so this is why. If you saw that $24, maybe, but then if you look around, there's 24 there, there's 24 there. I think I saw another one that was even cheaper than that on one of them. This one here has 12, same exact item. So this is why sometimes you want to scan, and so we'll confirm what the price is when we scan on the Walmart app. It is 12. So maybe this is good. We won't know until we scan it. But maybe it's good, but no one's bought it because it was the front one and it was marked $24, and they would have bought it at 12. We don't know here. In this particular case, we can sell it. It doesn't even show the exact proceeds, but you can know in general, Amazon's going to be taking like 30%. Plus, you're going to have some other fees and stuff in there for like shipping to Amazon. So it's not good for us. Plus, these ranks are a little too high. So here's another one. I actually saw this on clearance at a different Walmart, but it was more expensive. So we'll see. And we're still not there yet with the price. So I'm not going to show you each and every thing. Kind of just show you what is good, what's not good, and then you can try it. So for example, it's like I'm doing lots of toy stuff again because that's what I know. But we got an air filter for a car, right? So I don't know if I can sell this or not. Sometimes air filters, I've actually done a lot with air filters over the years. So looks like it's that we can't sell Briggs and Stratton, but since we're in here, we're still going to request approval. Always request approval. I didn't say that right. Always request approval. The worst they're going to do is say no. You don't get punished if they say no, but then at least you know and you have that information for the future, because it's like, okay, if I request approval, now there are ways to get approved. That's a much more advanced lesson that we're not going to get into today, but there are ways to get approved. Are there other pitfalls with this? Absolutely, there are. This is just the very much the surface level way of how you would do this. So we're gonna look. Again, I'm just kind of rebuilding my knowledge base too. So I'm sure there's a lot of these things that I would already know not to scan if I were more caught up and knowledgeable. But you know what? The only way to get caught up is to do the work. All right, and so, but you can see, and some of these things, like I've sold before, so I know at least once upon a time some of these things were profitable, or I was able to get them at a price that was profitable. And so we just kind of go, and you got to make sure, like sometimes I'll actually do a double walk, or I'll do the upper level first, and then I'll come back and look at the lower level. Sometimes you got to step back. Because visually for me, I get overwhelmed. It's like so much stuff that sometimes I'll just get overwhelmed. Now I just bought some other scissors that I sent into Amazon last week, and so I know I'm good on this brand, and so I want to at least see. Now they were a bigger kit that I bought, but I at least want to see. In this case, it doesn't look like it. So replacement things that are very specific to people. I always love scanning stuff like this. So in this case, this is like label printer stuff. And sometimes these are the types of things that you might be gated on Amazon that are worth trying to sell. It didn't scan that way, so we're going to do brother, P, touch, M, 1/2. We'll start with that. 2312 PK, is that it? We're gonna try to see if we can. 2312. Yeah, this is it. Let's see what the price is. Okay, it's another one of those that's close but not quite there, because it's $7 and you get $7.69. We'll still do the double check here on the price, and it is still $7. But this would also be something, any of these things that are close are things that you kind of want to put in the back of your head, because maybe when you come back to the store in a week, maybe the price has dropped. So you never know what you're going to find as you go down the road. So maybe something that's not good will be good. Let's see if there's anything else that really. So these look like nice staplers, right? They look high quality. And again, this is super surface level. Okay, so the first level didn't scan. So I scan barcode first. Then if I got a good picture of the front, I'll scan that. Make sure that this is a 60 sheet. No, this is. Now it says requires approval on all these Bow Stitch brand things. So we'll request, and we need documents So then we just skip it and we move on. But you kind of don't realize it, but there's still back to school stuff then that's on clearance here, right? It's staplers and different things like that. And so we look, and some of this stuff is stuff that even if it's profitable, I don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with shipping glass into Amazon, right? That's just not, some of you may. Some of you may know that stuff and want to do that. That's just not something for me. You know, anytime you see like little electronics like this, oh yeah, for sure. Like you've got to. There is a time. There is always a time that you want to let your voice be heard, but I still think you can do it in an upstanding way most of the time, and you want to do it that your life has already spoken the message before your words do. All right, so we did find it. It's another one, requires approval. And you might say, well, this can be frustrating. Well, absolutely, it can be frustrating, but it's most frustrating at the beginning. And then it's also most frustrating anytime you're dealing with like just new products here, okay? So anytime you're doing new products, it's like you just don't know. And you're not gonna know unless you scan, you're not gonna know unless you do the work. And so I just want you to think about the fact of how fast could you possibly go if you got good at this. And I think this is gated. That's amazing. These were selling for like 60, 70 in the past. Now they sell for like 20. And I not even, I guess I could sell it, but what would I clear on it? Oh no, it is restricted. Yeah, one is restricted. And then they have lots of other stuff here. Now, I'll get one general thing I would recommend is if it's like an as seen on TV thing, generally those are not going to be good to sell because a lot of them will pursue you for copyright violation stuff. Now, I know the other day they had other clearance here, and they do. So that was one side out. They have a whole bunch more clearance, and a lot of this is toy clearance over here too. So we're going to keep going. And then this is just what we do. Just go up and down, and then I'll show you. How's it going, Shane? We're just doing some sourcing for Amazon and kind of showing you the basics of what that looks like. So going through this, it looks like this whole aisle is more toy clearance, of course. So right, so I focus on toys, and I see toy clearance. That makes me happy. So Stranger Things, Baby Sitters, Babysitter Bat Blaster. I don't actually see that on here anyway. I don't know what SAS is. I'm using the Amazon Seller app. All right, here's another thing, another Star Wars thing. It was 50. It's on clearance for 24, but it's only selling for 30 right now. It's not now. None of these things do I ever just throw out and say, okay, well, never mind, it's not good, not gonna try. I'll always kind of keep my eyes open, go back and scan things that I haven't scanned in a little while. All right, so I see a Lego set. I love Lego sets. They're usually hard to find on good clearance. This one's on clearance for 50. I don't think this is good at 50, but I will always like double check Lego sets because they're like one of my favorite things to sell. Yeah, and 50. It's Amazon's sale price right now is $49.99. You can do the same thing here. This was also 100 on sale for 50. Now, if you have extra money and you want to invest, maybe something like this, getting a $100 Lego set for $50, that might be worth it. But as a flip on Amazon, it's not worth it today. Let's see. So we're just gonna kind of keep walking down the aisle. We got the Joker here. The Joker's getting closer. It's $12, so and you get $9. So we're still not quite there yet, but again, some of these things. Oh yeah, the Amazon app. Yes, yep, that's what we're using today. You can use other software, so you can use other software, but I'm just showing how to do it if you don't have access to other software, because that's what I'm doing right now. I got another Lego set up here. This one's pretty jacked up, but it's still good because maybe you'll see it and maybe this one won't work, but maybe you'll find another one that's in better shape. I don't have a price, so I don't know. So it's 30, so that doesn't work. And again, the more you do this, the faster you will get. So we're going to keep slowly going down here. We've got another Lego set. It's 55. All right, so you get 60. So this would be one, like if you were looking to buy and hold Lego for investment, this would be one you certainly could. Probably not that particular box because it's really messed up, but it's $50 today. It's already selling for $85 or $60 after fees, but it's not one that I'm flipping, and I'm not looking to build up my inventory right now. I'm looking to just find inventory I can sell through quickly. But there are definitely things that you can be looking into if you're looking to invest, buy certain products to hold. Now you got to be super picky with that, and we're not going to get into that too much today, but there is a opportunity to do that as well. All right, nothing there. All right, I don't deal with too much of the super big stuff. I'm also not buying much outdoor stuff this time of year. They have a lot of that right now, so I don't like dealing with pesticides, pillows, so I'm just gonna skip this section. And then they have a bunch of other stuff, like cups and stuff that I've already scanned a couple weeks ago that we're not gonna worry about. All right. So now, we can go back down there. We just kind of but there was another aisle on the side of the aisle. So we're gonna go down. Now this particular aisle this is like some of their Christmas special things. So it's like some of the bigger things that they think are going to be like the more popular in demand toys. So just because they're popular and in demand doesn't mean they're going to be valuable. In fact, a lot of times because they're expected to be popular, people they make more of them. So they're not really rare, they're just popular. So you can't always, it's the supply and demand. So sometimes it's got high demand, but the supply is also high. So it's not going to really do that much for you. Okay, but I see it's kind of like a special Lego set. It's a 3-in-1 Lego set pack, so we're going to at least check that out to see if there's anything worthwhile here. Lego 60441. So yeah, so that's all we do. We just go up and down. I'll show you now. Now we're not dealing with clearance stuff, though we may come back and just double check the clearance aisle at the end. I'm gonna go look for some of the things that I know to look for. I always like to go up and down every aisle that I'm interested in for a couple reasons. One, you want to keep your eyes open for things that might be new, replenished, or out of place. All right, so I do know there are certain plush from the TV show Bluey that are better than others. And so, in fact, in this case, some of these I have, so we're going to go to my inventory and see which ones I've sold before or I have in stock currently. And so I'm going to filter here by all and all. So we're looking for this guy. Now we'll still double check, but this is someone who we've already sold. So this is what we call a replenishable. Some item that you've sold previously, and then you come back, and then they've gotten a restock, and so you know you can sell it again, potentially. And you still have to do all the research. And there's not just one, there's a second one. So I should probably double check him first. We've also sold this one before. And we've sold this one before. So again, now I'm not spending a ton of time. I'm still gonna double check because I haven't bought them today. But I'm gonna look and see. And yes, this is still good. Okay? So that's still good. So these are $6.88, selling for about $20 a piece. Okay? So we're gonna add those into the cart. And in this case, these are super easy to ship, so I already have a merchant fulfilled listing for them, which means if someone wants to buy it, I'll just ship it directly to them. I have everything I need at home to do that, and so sometimes you can get a faster sale because I don't have to wait for it to go in to Amazon all the way. So we're gonna double check, and then we're gonna get down and double check to make sure we didn't miss any of the plush that we want from this section. And we'll double check some of the ones that weren't good the last time, because just because they weren't good 2 weeks ago doesn't mean they are good, or they're not still good. All right, looks like this pink one, looks like she's still good as well. And then we'll go back and check our little wiener dog. And everything looks good there as well. So we're gonna first go in, we're gonna dig for all of those, and then there's a couple of other ones that I know have been rare at times. And by rare, we just simply mean the supply-demand curve hasn't caught up. So I know I have sold all 3 of these at one time or another. But we're gonna check before we buy them, obviously, to make sure that they are or are not profitable. And sometimes you gotta really get down. I'll kind of show you, like, you gotta really get down here. Like, I'm down on my knees, kind of digging back here, right? Because there's just like a pile of plush. And so I gotta get down, look, sort through. And then a lot of these don't actually scan, which I think is one of the reasons why they sell well. But I'm gonna just go to my other phone. Here, we'll kind of prop you up here for a second. So I'm gonna go to my phone, and then I'm gonna just go home, and then inventory, or where do we go? Listing, add a product, and I'm gonna go Bluey, and then we're gonna go Lila plush. Okay, and I look at it, and remember, we're paying $6.88. The low price here is $11.89, so that's not currently going to be profitable. We know after shipping and Amazon fees, that's not going to be. We're going to look up. I think his name is. So we can put the other Lila back. I think this is Socks. I think it's Socks and Winston or something like that. Yeah. So we'll look up Bluey Socks plush. Same exact concept here. And his price is also $9.99. And then is this Winston? Is that right? Yeah, Winston. So we do one more search. Now again, I'll do this probably every couple of weeks, anytime I'm coming in, and I'll be like, hey, let me check. Now that didn't pull up anything. We'll try scanning his barcode. One more time. It's not going, but he wasn't good the last time. These other ones that weren't good are also the same. So we're just gonna put them back. We picked the products that we wanted, and then we move on. But again, that's stuff that, yeah, there's like a little bit of maintenance to the research, but it's research that I've already done. So I already know I'm looking for certain ones, and then I try to find them. And so as we're slowly working here, then we're slowly building up the cart. Now, let's say, you know, I want to try something else. Like there's some Disney plush. Let me see, can I even sell the Disney plush, right? So what I would recommend every time you go to the store, pick like a mini section that you haven't scanned in a while and scan it. Okay, so we can sell it. Goofy's selling for $9, but it costs us $6.88, so he's not good. Usually the more main characters sell for less. Even though they're more popular, they make way more of them. Usually. Now, let's see. In this particular case, yeah, he's also selling for like 11, so it doesn't quite work. And we'll scan Donald. Right, and so what I'm doing is I'm just building a knowledge base here. And the knowledge may just be, look, none of these are good. But then I know, because I've gone through and scanned them, they're all selling for like 10 to 12. And they would really need to be selling for like 15 to 20. That's probably where the price we need them to be. Now, interestingly, on the Mini, we're gated. We weren't gated on the other ones. But we did the request approval. We got approved. We're going to pull back the back box just in case there's any characters we're missing. And there's not. And so there are other ways to do research as well ahead of time, but when you're in the store, there's no better research than just scanning items that you see. And you might be, well, this is a lot of items, yeah, but I know certain things. So for example, I already know the brand Melissa and Doug I'm gated on, and I can't sell. So guess what? I don't even have to spend any of my brain power on like this entire section, ever. Like, this is all Melissa and Doug stuff. I know I can't sell it, so therefore, I don't have to think about it. And if you do like 5 Walmarts in one day and you scan one little section that you didn't know, or 2 little sections that you don't know that well, then you can very quickly get a good working knowledge base, and then you follow the breadcrumbs, right? So I know that Bluey is good, so if I see a new Bluey toy, I'm gonna at least scan it and see what I can find. See if there's anything. Now I've done well with some of these little Thomas train cars as well, but some of these I haven't seen these particular ones in a while. So we're gonna scan them. They sell for like $8, but this one sells on Amazon for 10. That's not gonna be enough. And again, most likely Thomas, Percy, some of the main ones, they're not gonna be as good as some of like the less likely to be ones. So in this case, Brake Car Bruno, I don't even know who that is. But there would be a better chance for a Brake Car Bruno. In this case, it's not, but the more obscure, the more likely. And we'll scan Thomas just to be sure, but yeah. So they're all selling for right around that $10, which doesn't work for us. But now we go through, and the next time I go into a Walmart today, I don't even have to look at that section other than to look for other trains that aren't yet there. Now, also you gotta think of new shows. So I know there's this new show, Super Kitties, that's out, and I know my daughter likes it. I know my daughter's probably not the only one who likes it. So I at least want to take a second to scan it, because it's a new show that has new toys out. There's not lots of kids sitting around with these toys. So this isn't quite profitable, but it is selling for like 25, which means you get like 16, so you make like $2. And then we'll try scanning the actual plush. A lot of times the plush is the way to go, like with the Bluey. In this case, not quite there. But again, there's certainly things to keep your eye on as well as you do these things. And so basically, there's no way I could scan everything in the toy section in one shopping trip. But I'm like, I picked 2 areas that I hadn't scanned in a while, and then I'm just kind of going up and down for anything else that catches my eye, or anything that I know I've bought recently that might be worth replenishing, that sort of thing. So we're done with that. That's kind of like the preschool aisle. Now we got a girls aisle. So on the left is like My Life dolls. They're like American Girl dolls. Now I do know that they were doing special My Life American Girl doll, My Life Hello Kitty dolls, but they were on a display somewhere else, so we're gonna have to check for that, just to see, because sometimes those do well around the holidays. There's lots of Barbie stuff. We're not gonna spend time doing all of that today, just because you'll be here for a really long time. But there are going to be a couple of things that we're going to specifically check for here in just a little bit. And again, if you just start with nothing, it gets really intimidating. That's why I would just say, just take on one thing. Take on one thing. Or even the very first time, just for fun, just walk up and down the aisles and scan anything that you think looks cool. Like, just channel your inner, if you're doing toys, channel your inner child. If you're not doing toys, just channel whatever. Channel your inner fan of that thing and just say, what am I? And then at least, are you picking popular things? They might not be profitable, but see if the things you're finding line up with what people in the real world are actually buying. Okay? So, one of the brands that I have sold that I like to sell is LOL. And so I see a couple of things here that I haven't scanned yet today. And I'm restricted on some of them, but not all of them. So I'm gonna check a few of the ones. Some of these I'm restricted on, some of them I'm not. But also some of them I haven't seen after being to like 3 different stores today. And so it's like, if it's something I haven't seen at other stores, then maybe they're selling out at other stores, right? So then maybe there's a high demand, and it's at least worth me looking into. All right, we've got some of these little boxes of things. I don't remember. These are only like $5 a piece, and I think there's one of them that sells for like 25. So we're gonna hunt for the one that sells for 25. And that's how it is, especially with toys. A lot of times there's one in the case pack. That's the rare and in demand thing. And everything else is kind of common. So you're just kind of looking for the one rare. Or like in the Bluey toys, there might be 3 or 4 different rares that there's one of per case, and a bunch of the others. So you're just hoping that you catch it at a restock, and you buy the thing that's slightly more rare. Now this one is not there, but this is one that, hold on, try it again here. Amazon is not in stock on this one. You can kind of see them right side by side here. And so this one's almost profitable, but it's not quite there. And so the faster you build up your knowledge base, the faster you can go. So then instead of having to scan each one, you can just be like, oh, I just need to see if they have this particular one in stock. I remember a couple years ago, everything was unicorn themed. And so you didn't even really have to look other than to see, did they have the unicorn version of the thing? Because you knew the unicorn was guaranteed to be good. All right, now I was telling you, I knew they had some of these My Life Hello Kitty dolls. They actually moved them. They're harder to find now than where they were. The last time I was in here, there was no listing for them yet. I don't know if there will be or not, but we're gonna see. It doesn't scan, but that, again, we know that doesn't mean. So we're gonna do My Life Hello Kitty doll, because we want to see. We know So I know from past history that these special holiday My Life dolls can be super valuable. In fact, there's one, for those of you who are pop culture addicts, I can't even sell this one anymore, but I sold a bunch of these back in the day. The JoJo Siwa doll. All right. So now in this case, I can also, these have been popular enough that I'll take a look on eBay, because I'm sure someone has it up on eBay. There's a lot of people, a lot of sellers who, like, even if they can't find the listing, or they'll buy it, bug and weed spray. So there are actual rules for selling pesticides on Amazon. I have gone through that, but I do tend to avoid certain things like that, just because you have to do some extra types of prep. But I will tell you one thing about these Hello Kitty dolls. There were a lot more of them here 2 weeks ago, and there's a lot less of them here now. That means they have been selling. They were full display, and now they're just the bottom of a thing. So let's see, we're gonna filter, in this case, because there's so many of them, we're gonna actually filter by solds, because I wanna see what they're selling for. And then sort by, what we're gonna do, we'll filter out solds, right? We do sold. Ended recently. Is this the right one? I don't know if that's the exact right one. No, that's a different one than we're looking at here. I'm gonna add in 2024. So when you're trying to find something, so one of them has sold. This one sold for $75, but shipping on that would be pretty rough. So we're gonna pass on that. But there are things like that that you want to kind of keep your eyes on. And so everything sells on Amazon, right? So think about the things that you've bought on Amazon, and then think about why you've bought those things on Amazon. So you want to, so in other words, yeah. Well, and it could be, and it's like the thing is, you kind of just have to, like I said, we've been here for like almost an hour, and we're like 3 aisles in, and we're not even doing a complete scanning of all the shelves. And I'm explaining how to do this. Could you imagine how long it would take? So you got to just pick things that you're most comfortable with, things that you know, and then kind of focus in on that. But I would start with, instead of asking what sells best, I would start with, what do you like? What do you like? And, or what are you good in? What are you skilled in? So if you're a gearhead and you know cars, I would start researching auto parts and doing that. If you're a sports fanatic, I would start, searching sports things. Because I think that plays a lot more into it. This would not be anywhere near as much fun for me if I didn't just enjoy toys. I'm just kind of a kid at heart. I like it. I have kids too, and just even bringing stuff like this home, my kids love looking at the stuff before we ship it out to Amazon. And it's something that, I think it's worth considering. Like, if you're looking to get into this for the long haul, I would want to spend my time focusing on the long haul. By the way, these things were like super huge a couple years ago. And I can't sell them on Amazon now. They're called fingerlings. They kind of, you just put them on your finger, and they're pets. But I see a couple here that I haven't seen anywhere. So, and again, I'm requesting approval, but I can't do that. But I am trying a couple of these to sell on eBay to see if, because These seem to be maybe popular this year, so I'm keeping my eyes and ears open for that. There's tons of Lego sets here. I don't know which ones are exclusive to Walmart, but you'd kind of want to, let's see. This clearance sticker looks out of place, but I think it's for the right item. So let's find out, first of all, if it's right. It is. That's $9. It's another one of those that's just almost but not quite. Okay. So it's $9 and you would get $8.52. Obviously we don't want to be losing money. You're going to lose money on some of the stuff, but you never want to be intentionally losing money from the start. So I don't see too much else here. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you, like last week, when I just did this and I wasn't streaming at all, I think I did 9 stores spanning about 30 miles in like 10 hours. It was like go into the store, try to get the stuff that I know in a half an hour, quickly check the clearance and stuff like that. So if you want to, I'm kind of a firm believer in the hybrid approach. So like if you're wanting to do this and you know nothing, then just go scan a section or just go scan a store till you find one thing that's profitable that you can sell. And then the next store, go find that thing and then go scan until you find a second thing that you can sell. And just keep doing that until you've built up your pool of knowledge. And if you're like me, my brain can't handle too many things. So then I kind of just say like, okay, I'm gonna just narrow my search. All right, by the way, they are selling skibbity toilets. I don't even know what they are. Skibbity toilets. So anything that's like pop culture like this, I like to scan just to get some idea. In this case, it's not profitable, but yeah. All right, then you get into some of these figures. Okay, so there's figurines. These are the ones, and I'm not saying this one, but there can be like one in a case pack that's the valuable one that everyone's looking for. That can apply to characters like this, Mario characters. It can apply to Sonic. It can apply to wrestling figures. It can apply to TV show characters. There is often intentionally one that they short print or that just has higher demand. So you want to look for like oddball characters like this. Like it's probably not going to be Mario. Mario's probably not going to be the one that's worth reselling. Now it may not be the oddball, but it's much more likely to be the oddball. So in this case, I scanned the Tanuki Mario, I scanned the Shy Guy, and I'm gonna scan Toad. But I'm not gonna scan Mario and Luigi because my experience tells me that is not going to be worth it. So could I be wrong? Could I miss things? Absolutely. But I'm going to try to maximize my time on the things that make that. Oh yeah. Yeah, we've had all sorts of things, and we've had things that didn't sell. We've had bad buys. We've had things that we've sold, just we took a loss on it just to get some money back out of it or whatever. So yeah, it will come with the territory, which is why when you're starting, you want to minimize the capital that you're risking. You don't want to spend a lot of money. So then you got a couple options there. So one is, if it's just not selling on Amazon, but you think there's a market for it, you can have it sent back to you, and then you just put it up on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. You can, if it's not even worth the hassle, like maybe it's just only worth like $1 or $2, and you just don't even want to pay for them to ship it back to you, you can just have them destroy it for you. And you just pay a little fee to be gone with it. So you can do that at times. A lot of times, it's not that it hasn't sold, it's just that the price for the market came down. So if you're willing to just lower your price and say, okay, I was hoping to sell it for 20, but now it's selling for 15, so I'll just sell it for 15 and be gone with it. And so then you're looking to just kind of keep that money rotating in. The other thing that you can look at too is sometimes if you can do a bulk buy, maybe you can buy 10 things for $1 a piece. You only need 2 of those to sell, to get your money back. And so then the rest, if you end up taking a loss on the rest, it's fine because you made your money on the one or the two. So I would highly encourage you to be super picky at the beginning. You can even start with thrift stores, garage sales, find new. You gotta make sure it's really new. You gotta be like super careful because you don't want to like jeopardize your Amazon account when you first get started. But you can kind of look for things like that. All right, so a couple other things that I know to look for. Some of these Mario Kart cars. And again, it's basically the same concept. You're not looking for Mario and Luigi. You're looking for, so they don't have Daisy, but I did buy Daisy somewhere else earlier. But you want to kind of like look for these types of like but by oddball I don't mean like they're just not the main, not the headliners. Okay. So these cars are $5.88, and this might not be profitable, but it gives you a picture. Peach is selling for $11. Now the problem is after fees, she's still not profitable. But obviously this would be one I would want to keep my eye on. And so anytime I'm coming to the store. Now, I would say not Luigi, but I'm going to scan baby Luigi. Okay? So again, may not be good, but actually it is. I mean, it's not worth getting, but it is slightly profitable. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna look for another one less popular. Yoshi. And we look here. Again, not profitable enough to get, but you can see these would all, if all these bumped up by $1 or $2, or let's say they went on sale and you could get these for like $2 a piece, all of a sudden turning 2 into 6, that would make them profitable. So these would be ones that I'm not buying today because the margin's not there, but I'm going to keep my eye on in the weeks ahead because prices will tend to rise as you get closer to Christmas. Now, it's a very narrow window and you can get stuck by buying too much. Another one I like to do are these monster trucks, little Monster Jam ones. This is one that I haven't seen today. So I've been to 3 other stores, I haven't seen this particular one. So I'm gonna scan it because I know it's a little less popular, and it didn't scan at all. So now we'll do the front scan. Octanator, now these are $3.88. My proceeds here, again, not a huge deal, but this is one that I am gonna grab because there is like $2 profit on this. So I can turn $4 into $6. I'm gonna do that. Now, I will note here at Walmart, I have my business set up that I have tax exempt, so I'm not paying sales tax on my Walmart stuff. All the sales tax for this is paid by the end customer. So when Walmart buys product in bulk, they're not paying sales tax on it. They're the middleman, and in the same way, you can do that. Now, Target will not let you do that as a reseller, but Walmart does. So at Walmart, I know the price on the sticker is the exact price I'm paying. If you don't have that tax exempt, of course, you have to add the calculation of that sales tax into your profits. Like, you got to understand, like, you're doing that. So I do want to make that note for you guys because I know not all of you, probably most of you won't start off with tax exempt status. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to now say, okay, well, if one of them is good, maybe there's more than one of those, because I'll show you, there's like about 6 rows of these monster trucks here, right? So I'm gonna go through, as well as there's 1 or 2 that I bought earlier today from other stores. So I'm gonna see if those are good, or if those are here, I mean. Okay, and then this is one that I bought a couple weeks ago, and I'm gonna scan to see if it's still good. It may not still be good, so because prices are always fluxing, right? And in this case, the price has gone down a little bit, so I'm gonna pass on this one today because I know I have a couple in stock. We're gonna check this one as well. So these are the Monster Jam and the DC comic stuff or whatever, or Marvel. Okay. Now this one is also $3.88. Okay. Sales rank 17,000. We're scanning for products at Walmart to sell on Amazon. So look at this. This is probably the best find we've had so far today. So you're gonna pay like $4 and you're gonna get $9, which is $5 per hour. You're gonna more than double your money on this one. And the sales rank is great. 17,000 in toys. We're looking for anything under 100,000. So if we hit, if we can find a toy we can double our money and the rank is under 20,000, that's great. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna grab this. Now I know there's 2 variations of all these, so we're gonna look for more, but we're gonna be very careful that if we find more, we get the right variation, or we scan the other one. So Kaylee, yeah, sorry, I wasn't just in the middle of explaining. We are scanning products at Walmart to sell on Amazon. So this is called retail arbitrage.
Porque lo mayormente interesado, lo que mayormente está interesado son ellos, imagínate. Para nosotros no es igual, sino...
All right. Here's another one that I haven't seen at any of the stores I've been at today. Doesn't mean it's good, no, but it means it's worth scanning. And check it out. It looks like we're going to be good. Here, so remember, we're paying $4 a piece for these. It's currently selling on Amazon for $14.90. You get $8 profit again. You double your money. Our sales rank is 24,000. So now Thunder Roarus, right? Octanator and Thunder Roarus. Now I have 2 new products. And again, it's small. It's not like a lot of money. I also know that I bought Monster Mutt earlier today. Just to be sure, I'll double. If you're ever not 100% sure it's the same exact item, you can always scan it again. Yep, it's like $2 profit, so we're gonna grab him. So now Thunder Roarus, Octanator, Monster Mutt, and we're gonna go through all these. I saw this one for the first time today and I thought it was going to be really cool, but it wasn't. I was very sad. All right, here's another Monster Mutt. Okay, so we're going to add that to our cart. All right, Dragonoid, this is Bakugan. This one has been good before, but it's not good today. Just about done. There are a couple kinds of this Iron Man one as well. So we know Captain America is good. This is where you follow the breadcrumbs, right? Black Panther was okay. Captain America was good. So it's like, okay, maybe Iron Man is good, right? So we kind of have this lead here now. It's like, okay, it's good. Now in this case, this one we would only get $4.40. So you'd make 40 cents, but that's not really worth the risk of what we're looking for. However, I think there are 2 kinds. I don't know if they have the other kind here. Okay, and I don't see anything else in that section. But now, if I go to another Walmart, now I have 4 or 5 different monster trucks that I'm looking for. So the more my knowledge base is, the faster I go, and then I don't have to scan them all. Now there are a couple of, they have these 2-packs. Okay, they're like $7.74 for a 2-pack, which is actually a better deal, right? Because you're getting 2 instead of 1, and it's not $8, it's a little bit less than that. So in this case, this has Monster Mutt, but it's a different version, right? It's the ice version. You can see you get $9. It's not quite worth it for where we're at, because you're only going to make like $1. I don't want to really spend $7 to make 1. I'm definitely looking to make like 2 or 3 a piece, even on the low end stuff. But it's still promising, and now we're going to look at a different one. And here's a trick that you can do. Whenever you're in a store and you see a sticker that's like exclusive to that store, it's usually worth at least scanning it, because that means unless someone buys it from Walmart and sells it somewhere, it's only available at Walmart, right? So this is a Walmart exclusive, and we love selling Walmart exclusives on Amazon. Okay, so same concept here. We're not quite there. It's $9.15, so we'd only make like $1.50, but that's on our watch list. Okay, so I'm not buying it today. Now, if I had lots and lots of money again, we talked about this earlier. If you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars and you're trying to just turn your inventory, maybe you take this, or maybe you buy it today and you hold it for a couple of weeks. But I don't have any extra budget to buy and hold product right now. But I'm just gonna keep looking. Now I saw a yellow truck earlier that I kind of thought looked cool. It wasn't good. Here's a different yellow truck. So we're just gonna scan all these 2-packs because we found so many good ones in the 1-packs, and these are kind of all not quite here. See, again, another one. This one's not even an exclusive. It's not quite there, right? You're only gonna make like $1, so it's not quite there, but it's worth once a week. It'd be worth scanning through these. You don't have to scan through them every single day. This one's definitely not good. I can tell that by the price. And that's it. So, but I'll give you an update here, because you can see. So we're like an hour in. Now, of course, here's the broad negative to this. It takes money to make money, right? So you have to have the money to spend. But if you look, here's now our thing. And if you just, we're gonna average it out, because a lot of these have been like $2 to $3 profit. So if we just count the total number of items here, and some of these are more than $2, but we're just gonna calculate it at $2 a piece. Okay, so in 1 hour of work here, we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, now there is a little prep work that you have to do. We're not 100% done, but 16 items, and this is with me going slow, explaining everything to you guys, teaching you, and we're still able to make $32 in 1 hour of sourcing. That's great. And I promise you, the better you get at it, the faster you'll go and the more you'll be able to make. And sometimes you have to do the opposite too. You just got to pull the plug, right? Like, this store doesn't have what you're looking for. You went, don't force yourself. You know, when you're early on, you should force yourself to find something if you can, but I would still give yourself a time limit. You know, if you don't find something in a half an hour, if you scan for a half an hour straight and find nothing, then it's time to give yourself a mental break at least and move to a different store. But in the end, that's what you're gonna do. Now, there's lots of this Pokemon stuff here. I know a lot of this is like either stuff I can't sell or there's not listings on Amazon. So we're gonna skip that. We're gonna go around the corner. I don't know if there's much else. Down there, and it's like outside stuff. So we're basically done. I'm gonna do one last thing that I like to do because I don't always trust myself. We're gonna take one last walk down that clearance aisle where I'm gonna just scan my eyes over anything that sticks out that I might have missed, and then we're gonna head back to the electronics department. So sometimes it's just helpful for me. This may be just more of a me quirk, but sometimes it's helpful. Just go back down and say, like, okay, on the off chance I missed something, I'm gonna just double check. So, like, you know, I don't know anything about this. Here's the other thing. Sometimes when they go on clearance at Walmart, they cover the barcodes. So sometimes you can peel them back, but you can also, even if it doesn't scan, I don't know if you can tell, but you can still read that barcode through there, and you can just as easily type those numbers in to Amazon as long as you can read them. It's the same thing. The scanner is just essentially a keyboard that's typing it in. 853405. All right, so we do that. It still didn't bring up anything, so then we do our final scan. So we're going to do Rebel, Moon, Action, Figure. And then we're going to add in Nemesis because that's the name of the figure. And after all that, if you're still not finding it after you've done all of that, it's okay to just say, look, maybe it's a good item, but I'm just not going to spend that much of my time on it. Okay, so here's one more thing, another Stranger Things thing that I don't know what it originally was, but it looks like it's been clearanced out a lot. There's a lot of yellow. There's like 4 yellow stickers on it on top of each other, so I'm going to do Stranger Things. Upside down globe. All right, and I don't know if I had the right one, but the only one that showed up was one that required approval, and I wasn't able to approve. So skip that. You've got to be careful as you're going through here too. Not everything in the clearance aisle is created equally, so let me try to find you an example. I wouldn't do this anyway, but it's very clear that these plates have been opened. Do not send stuff like this into Amazon, okay? You don't want to send in stuff that has been opened and returned. You're looking for clearance, like new items that didn't sell, not items that were opened and then returned, okay? It's very, very important for protecting your Amazon account. All right, doing one last look here. I'm not seeing anything sticking out, but I always like to do that just on the off chance that, oh, there is one thing. So I know this. Okay, so I bought this for $2 at another Walmart earlier today. And normally once I made up my mind, I'm not gonna like keep scanning it, but I'll show you. This is like just a cheap little thing. It's only $2, right? They get $4 after fees. It's great sales rank. Okay, so there you go. There's another $2. There's another $2. There's another $2. So there you go. We found an extra $6 just by doubling that. Now, I'm not saying you should always do that. You have to do that. All right, and then they also have toys like in the middle, not down the main aisles. So like there's this Hello Kitty thing that I have not seen before. Doesn't mean it's not out there. It may have been out here for a week and a half, but it's the first time I've seen it. So I want to at least know. I'm gated on it. I'm going to request approval. It's Hello Kitty, and we got approved. Okay? So now we'll go back here and we'll see. Not quite profitable. So keep my eye on the middle aisle here as you go. And there can be other clearance aisles in your stores. This one has one main clearance aisle, and like I said, unless you're going to spend the time to go up and down every single aisle, I mean, you could easily spend an entire day at a Walmart and they'll look at you strange and you might close your cart. But I've just found in general, and I know most of the people who do this much more than me find it much more profitable to specialize in one or two areas and hit more stores as opposed to, imagine trying to have knowledge of every item that's in Walmart. You just can't do it. So I think it's best to find your specialty. You don't have to do toys and video games. Okay? That's just what I like to do. I don't even play video games, but I like sourcing toys and video games. It's been good to me. I have some good working knowledge around it. And of course, if there's other things that work, like the Post-it notes that we got, we'll grab them. But I think you're 100% much better. Now, if you hear of something that's out of your normal niche and you can find it, that's great. I've done that before. But if you want to become an expert in one area, you're much better off focusing on one main area. All right. So I used to sell a lot of Funko Pops, but I've gotten gated on almost all of them. But I still make a run by. Yeah, see, like I'm restricted on these. It's not even gated. It's a hard gating, which is a little unfortunate because I have some Funko Pop cases that I wanted to use up. Usually, the only ones that are worth getting on Funko Pops usually are the exclusives to the store, or the ones that are like convention exclusives or whatever, limited edition print runs. Most of the rest of them are way overly mass produced and they're not worth it. So we're just gonna usually our There's some separate clearance sections here in electronics. Some of it makes it to the front, but not all of it, and I'll show you here today. We've got 1, 2, 3, at least 3 clearance sections here. Oh, there's another one right here. Another one right there. Now, I don't do much with cell phone cases because a lot of those companies don't like you reselling their products, and they make it a pain for you. But like little plush things like this, random plush in a bag, I'll scan stuff like that. Some brands of ink I can sell, not all, but some brands. I bought one ink cartridge at Target. I'm at a Walmart right now. I'm sourcing a Walmart. So we just went through the main clearance section and the toy section, and now I'm going through the clearance section of electronics in the Walmart. And like some of this is like you just kind of learn. So like yes, there's stuff like this. I think this is considered a super Walmart. They've got the full grocery store and everything. So even though like stuff like this is on sale, you can scan stuff like this when you're learning. But I know this brand in general is just not something that's going to be super great. But I see some video games here, right? So some video games on clearance. Now this one was in the clearance section with no sticker. That doesn't mean that it is on clearance, okay? But remember, just get your Walmart app. So you can open up your Walmart app and then you scan it, and at least you know what the price is. This case is $39.96, which is probably not a clearance price, but since we already have it out, we'll still scan it. Okay, sounds good. Like all of our Walmarts down here got rid of the scanners a long time ago. And I found in the very least they'll match the app. Even if, and your worst case scenario is right that, yeah, they got rid of our scanners a long time ago. We went to, I know, I used to love it. Our scanners, they still have scanners at our Targets, which is nice. And sometimes the Target app is cheaper than that. All right, so we got, we'll see, this one, this WW is 15. Now this is profitable, you can see. It's $22, but we are restricted. So we're gonna see if we can get approval. In this case, we got to submit documents. We're not going to worry about that today. Now, we're going to do 2 other things here, though. On this particular one, we'll scan the price because I was buying some video games earlier today for $5 a piece, even though they were marked 15, but they scan as 5 in the app. So that was cool. In this case, it's 15, but I don't know enough about this game, so then I'm going to go back and I'm going to go on eBay, right? Because video games are really easy to ship from home too, and we're just going to see. So we're going to sort just by lowest price, and then I'm going to filter by buy it now, and I'm going to filter by condition new. Let me find, where is that at here? Condition brand new. All right, and brand new, the low on eBay right now is like 23, and this is 15. And after eBay fees and shipping, then we're not making anything there, but it's really close. But if this was $5, I would buy this for eBay, okay? Even 10, I might consider it for eBay. But for sure 5, so I know these are on clearance, and not every Walmart clearances out at the same price rate at the same time. So I'm gonna at least keep that in my back pocket, that this is a potential, if it gets cheap enough, it's a potential eBay flip. Okay, don't see anything else. See anything else in this one that is like gets me super excited, or so we're gonna go to the next one. Now I do see some toner cartridges. These are one of my favorites. They're not always good, okay? This one was 75, it's labeled as 59. I forget, some of these I can sell on Amazon and some I can't, okay? So, and then if you're dealing with ink, of course, there's also expiration dates. But so first things first, we're gonna scan it. And it looks like I can't, let's see. Let's try to get our approval here. Oh, is this the special? serial number. All right, hold on. I think I got to do the approval for this one. I think I have to do it separately. This has that new special kind of barcode on it. And you have to do some special things for it. So hold on, I'm not giving up on this one yet. Sometimes you gotta do a little extra work in the store. But I always encourage you, make your decision in the store. Like don't buy something and take it home and then try to do the research. Okay, instead, so we're gonna request approval in the app. So yeah, these have these new transparency with a serial number, and I see this one has a serial number on it, so I know I'm good. Man, we're just trying to get ungated. So we're gonna say yes, 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 yes. In this case, they want 5 transparency codes, which we don't have.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. I know
Yeah,
you're
no, you're good. All right, so this is not gonna work for Amazon, but we're gonna do 2 more things, because anytime I'm dealing with toner, I know there's lots of people who need it, so we're gonna do our scan so we get our price, so we know for sure what we're talking about. It is $59, and then we're gonna scan it with the eBay app. I don't think this is gonna be worthwhile, but
Thanks a lot, brother.
no. So in this case, that one's not going to work. There's also a Canon. You can see these are like those special new serial number barcode things. So we have like special things you have to do. I don't think I can sell Canon on Amazon, but it's been a while since I've checked. So I always encourage you, if it's been a while since you've checked, check again. It's like 4 different barcodes here. I think this is the right one. Well, actually, it looks, no, we're restricted. And it wouldn't work even if we weren't. Okay, now this is the same one, right? But you gotta check because they kind of look the same, but this is the same one we already checked, so we know that's not good. Same we already checked. And then we'll squat down, see if there's anything else. I don't see anything else. So now that's just like the little end caps of clearance. And again, I want to emphasize that you can be significantly faster with all of this if you're not talking to a camera, if you building your skill base and your knowledge base. So by the way, thank you to everyone who's here. If you guys are liking this and enjoying this, please hit that like and that subscribe button. We do a lot with food and gig delivery work, but we also are working with helping you learn how to build your eBay and Amazon businesses and things like that. This is what we found so far. Not any like home runs or anything crazy like that. Just like a good bunch of solid things. Some of them, a lot of them are like $2 to $3 profit. A few that are like $4 to $5, something like that. But I would just really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe. That lets me know that I'm on the right track of providing content that is helpful for you. There's another video games section that's got some more clearance games. I see there's another one up ahead for the Xbox. So we're gonna just double check these. Same thing, I love when video games work, they're just some of the most fun to do. We are gated on Rabbids. We're still gonna check because I do know some of these have been clearancing to $5, but this is still 15. Let's see, anything else? I think we're gonna head up to the Xbox games, and then we'll go check the Switch games too. On things. And again, I've been out of the game a little bit, so I'm slow. Some of you guys probably see some of these things and you're like, you know right away. It's not, but even if you could tell me these things, for me, it's sometimes better to scan it because then I just get to learn as I scan. And the more I do that, the more I'm building the knowledge base in my head that I need. So a lot of these games that I used to be able to sell, I'm now gated on. So it's definitely a little bit frustrating, but it's still good to check. In this case, the back was all covered, so I'm gonna just scan the front. Man, I remember when that game came out, it was super popular. Ones in the case, but not anything that looks crazy. One or two worth scanning, maybe. How often does this have to be like completely redone? Yeah, I would imagine. So, yeah, and here's one more. So, like anything under 10, like any video game that's new under $10 that you don't know about is probably worth scanning. Yeah, in this case, it's not worth it, but at least you're building the head knowledge. I gotta find, I'm not sure, one of these directions. Yeah, here's the switch games. They're like my favorite ones. You got to be super careful with dealing with gated. They won't even let you send it in. Like, I mean, you could, but no. There's an actual proper way to do it, and I've done it before. It's just not something that you do while you're in the store. You have to actually purchase through a legitimate distributor. Here's JoJo. There she is again. And JoJo is gated. We keep talking about fastest finger apps, and here's the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game too. A few other random things, but I'll kind of roll. I heard of one other. eBay flipping you can do. I just heard about this the other day. It goes from that sports card thing. So you gotta find, I don't even know if it's gonna be here. Someone may have already done it, but Sports Illustrated for kids, if they have it. I don't think they have it. I'm assuming it probably someone already came and bought them. But there's like Sports Illustrated for kids has like actual sports cards inside of it for kids, and there's a popular rookie card in there. I forget who it is. Yeah, no, and we've done that. So anytime that we've gotten stuck to it, we've tried to get ungated. We've gotten ungated on, 5 or 6 things. And the most important one for this trip is Post-it notes. So we got ungated on Post-it notes today, which is kind of funny. But we're going to get about $15 to $20. So that's basically it. We're just done. We're done. Now, this was about an hour and a half. I would say probably I'd aim to do what we just did in 45 minutes or less if I wasn't streaming, just to give you kind of like the speed and the pace that you want to go. And I bet other people could have been in and out of this Walmart faster. Some of you would have taken longer too. and that's perfectly fine. Like it's understandable. Everyone's got different paces of things. You can also, like, if you want to deal with seasonal stuff, it's kind of like it's stuff that you have to sell faster. I've sold like candy canes on Amazon before. It would be way too late to be sending in Halloween stuff to Amazon. Okay, so you need to be thinking a couple of probably 8 to 12 weeks ahead at all times, especially when you're talking about seasonal things. So you would want to be sending in Christmas stuff now and probably have most of your Christmas stuff in by the first week of November, maybe mid-November at the latest. Now, if you're going to merchant fulfill some things, you can sometimes do that a little bit later. But the negative with seasonal stuff like costumes on Halloween is that a lot of people will just buy them and then return them because of Amazon's return policy, and there's really nothing you can do about it. So again, everything has to do with your risk tolerance. How much do you want to risk? How much money do you want to risk? I recommend leaving yourself with big margins to start with. And so, you can certainly start with looking for new products at garage sales and thrift stores to start with, where it's like, okay, if it goes wrong, you're only out $5 instead of being out $50. I mean, we're talking like we'll make $50 profit or so from this cart, but we're gonna have to spend, well over 100 here. Probably closer to 150. I'm just trying to kind of quick mentally add it up. 20, 40, 60. Those Post-it notes, like, they're going to sell fast, but you still have to put the money out front. So it's just really important to keep in mind. And obviously my risk tolerance is going to be different than yours. There will be some of you that will be riskier than me. There will be some of you that will be less risky than me. But my main encouragement would be is if this intrigues you at all, at least go through the process of starting to work on signing up for an Amazon account. At least go through that process so you can at least learn and do that. And in the meantime, if you want to just get started with some basic e-commerce stuff, get your eBay store set up. That's super easy to get set up. And probably if you're like me, you have a good handful of things around the house that you don't know that have a little, or that you don't need, that have a little bit of value that you would just benefit in your life would benefit by getting rid of them. So I would encourage you to just kind of think about that. And if you have questions on this, you can absolutely email me, asideofhustlechannel@gmail.com. Try to check that at least once a day. I have 0 current emails in there that are unreplied to, so I am caught up. So I do try to check that. If you appreciated this, definitely like and subscribe. If you want to financially support the channel, patreon.com/asideofhustle. We've got all sorts of things to kind of challenge your growth in all areas of life. I've been a little bit out of whack on that from the hurricane, but there's a ton of stuff. So if you just sign in, there's like 60 posts or so to go through to get you started. And then we're gonna have more new stuff coming soon with all that. So I'm gonna sign off for now because I don't wanna have to deal with this as I'm checking out. But we'll check out and doing that. Yeah, Zach, for sure. No, yeah, and just do remember, everybody's looking for the same sales. So prices will tend to go down quickly when things are on sale. So that's why I like a mix of finding clearance and sale stuff, but also finding regularly priced stuff. We did about half our stuff was clearance, and about half our stuff is just stuff that was sitting on the store shelf that we're paying full price for, because you'll tend to have less competition on those things. So, okay, Shane, thank you for that. I'll have to do a little more research and see. I did what I could do today, and I keep scanning the same stuff over and over again. So maybe there's a glitch that has been unlocked. It's a little frustrating for some of the stuff because I was ungated on it at once upon a time, but that's what it is. But I appreciate you guys so much. And again, did you guys like this? Because we can do this again. I gotta check out now, and I gotta go pick up my family from school. But we can definitely do this again if you guys appreciated this. I mean, this is a pretty lame haul. Okay, awesome. No, it's good to know. This is a pretty lame haul. I'm not gonna lie. There have been times that I filled up 2 shopping carts from this particular Walmart. But that's just what it is. It's like some days are good, some days are bad. But you just got to go out, and the goal is get to as many stores as you can. So Yeah, so this is my 4th store of the day, and then I'm gonna go pick up my family, drop them off, and then I'm gonna go. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do food delivery for supper, if I'm gonna go, but I think I'm gonna go do a couple more stores here. I have a couple of Targets in my area that I haven't been to in months. They're a little further away, and another Walmart, and then I have 2 Walmarts. So I'd like to get to 5 more, but I also know with doing streaming, it slows me down, but that's okay because I want to help you guys. And then my kids are off tomorrow, so they have no school for parent-teacher conferences. My wife is going to do the conferences, and we're going to be at home, and we're going to prep the shipment and get it out the door either tomorrow night or Thursday morning. So I don't feel like I have quite enough stuff for a shipment yet, so I'm going to do that. Awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll do it. I don't have a regular schedule for lives, but I'm going to definitely be sourcing on Tuesdays, so I would definitely, I'm going to try to at least do a little bit of some live sourcing on Tuesdays. So appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Richie hustles. Okay, I'll do some looking, and I've got lots of friends who are like super deep in the Amazon world too, so I can maybe reach out to some of them, see if they know more. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. I don't know. I might go live again later. I don't know, but I'm gonna take a break for now because I did my my catering delivery and then this. So I'm gonna go focus on family for a few minutes at least, and then make a decision as to what I want to do. So we'll see. I may just go live once I'm in a Walmart later tonight, but I'm not gonna go live in a Target. I'm not gonna draw that much attention to myself at Target because Target doesn't like resellers. So, but if I get to another Walmart tonight, maybe I'll go live later. So appreciate you guys. All right, see you guys later.